Hey there, everybody. I got time today. Okay. How are you doing? Come on in. Come on in. I'm excited about something brand new. I am getting started today, and that is a weekly series that I'll be doing here live. Hey there, everyone. Live. Here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. I even think I threw LinkedIn in here today. So if you are brand new to me, just say hi, hello, how you doing? I look forward to seeing you. But I'm super excited about this because this is allowing me to exercise a muscle that I have not exercised regularly over the past several years as I focus a lot on business and helping people grow their businesses. And I still do that. Hey there. How you doing? Let me see who this is. I can't even see. Okay. Hey there. Oh, there's Anne Marie. How you doing, girl? Great to see you. But I'm definitely excited about doing a little bit more in the political lane this season. You will see me more as a political commentator in various spaces. You will also there's also some other sort of work that I'll be doing directly in the political sphere moving forward. But I thought it would be good to have some time where I could come on here and speak directly to you about those issues that are impacting you each and every day in the political realm. And I thought, hey, what better day to kick that off than today, election day, in several states across the nation. So as you know, today there are elections going on. Probably the one that's getting the most attention is New York City Mayor with Mamdani. I am loving him. I think he is really a rare, once in a generation political candidate that the Democratic Party would be wise to learn from and to emulate in various ways instead of sort of distancing themselves from him because they are too afraid of how to respond to the predictable attacks that they will get. That is something that's normal within the Democratic Party, and that they don't understand how to go on offense. They are continuously figuring out what they're going to do in response to an agenda or to a messaging stream that the Republicans push forward instead of being able to frame an issue themselves very successfully and continuously. What they're doing right now with the shutdown, honestly, is unusual in that they have been able to frame this very well and stick to the script for weeks now. But unfortunately, as you know, there are implications of this whole situation that's impacting us all, which is why they're doing it with regards to the healthcare and all those things. However, they're not ready for me. Well, they better be, okay? But that's not the main thing I want to talk about today, okay? The main thing I want to talk about is some of the rigging that's going on right in front of our faces right now that a lot of people are not talking about, but I think it's very, very important that we recognize and talk about how that's related to the elections that are going on today. So I remember not so long ago when there was a lot of media attention around what was happening in Texas. You remember when Texas was getting a lot of attention about them redistricting, specifically eliminating districts with some of our favorite candidates and political leaders like a Jasmine Crockett, for example. And in so doing, attempting to add 5 seats for the Republicans in the House of Representatives over the course of the midterms. At that time, you might remember a group of Texas Democratic legislators left the state for a period, but they ultimately came back. The redistricting went through. And so the Republicans are primed to gain 5 seats. Now, you might have thought that's where the story ends because we haven't heard much from that, other than the fact that we know that California is looking to counter that with adding 5 Democratic seats to counterbalance that. And that is related to a particular special election that they're having today to give them permission to do that. Hey there, Tom. It's great to see you, my BSU brother. All right. So that's going on. But I want you to understand that is not the end of the story. The media is not covering this very much. And that's not the end of the story. And that's why what's happening right now is very, very critical. Hey there, girl. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday to you. A Tuesday treat. See, I like the alliteration of I got time today on Tuesdays. Okay, I like that. So that's another reason why I decided to do it today. That's right. Thank God California is coming in, doing what they need to do. But this is another reason why we need Virginia to have a Democratic governor today. Because Virginia has already said they're going to redistrict too, and they're doing it because they're seeing what I'm going to tell you about today. The issue is it's not just Texas. It's not just Texas. Texas is not the only problem. Texas is not the only way in which the GOP is trying to rig the system. What they've also done, which you probably heard very little to nothing about, is that they've done the same things in Missouri. They've done the same thing in Ohio. They've done the same thing in North Carolina. And between Texas, North Carolina, Ohio, and Missouri, the Republicans have already set themselves up to pick up an additional, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9 seats in the House of Representatives. Nine. And guess what? They are not done. All right. They're not done. They are looking to try to additionally pick up more seats in Nebraska, in Kansas, in Indiana, and in Florida. So if you think that having California do what it's doing, which we want them to do it, that's wonderful, is enough, I want to tell you it is not. It is not. And this is why what's happening in Virginia today is so important, because Virginia is trying to, with the election of a Democratic governor, be able to also redraw some lines to counterbalance what's already happened. It's just 9 that we know of, with just 4 seats in play with the Republicans that they've already power grabbed, okay? Because he knows he's going to lose the midterm if he does not jerry-rig the election. All right. He knows he's going to lose it. And so they already have 9 seats that they have gained. So far, the California is looking to add another 5 seats. Utah has come in with an additional 1 seat. Okay. So we're still behind. And they still have not activated what they are seeking to do in Nebraska, in Kansas, in Illinois, in Indiana, and in Florida. They're not stopping at 9 seats that they're trying to steal. They're not stopping. All right. And so you can't win playing by the rules. Absolutely. White boys doing the white thing. You're exactly right. Disappointing, but not surprising. We need every state to step up. We absolutely do. All right. So I know this is something that is being considered or has been considered. There was some rumors about it being considered in Maryland. They've not really pulled the trigger on that. Although Maryland probably has less wiggle room with that because Maryland is an already heavily Democratic state. There's some talk about doing something around this in Illinois to combat it. That's very necessary. And I think we would have a very strong chance of Illinois moving forward with that, given how Chicago has been targeted by this administration. But there needs to be more than that. That's all that's really kind of in play right now. Virginia, Maryland, and Illinois. And we already know that the Republicans have already got 4 in play. All right. And they're looking to add on an additional 4 more that we know of now. This is something that they're going to keep doing unless we come back stronger. I am hoping, I have not taken a look literally at the specific language in the ballot initiative in California, but I think I have heard, and I just want to verify, that it's giving them the option to add at least 5 additional seats. California has more wiggle room. You know, I want them to go even further if they can. And I want additional Democratic-led states to come into the fore and be able to counteract this. Because this is what happens when you know you're going to lose and you know that you need to have some sort of rigging of the game in order to stay in power. We cannot afford a full 4 years of the domestic terrorism that the Trump administration is administering in this country. You just cannot have it. He's only been in now for about 9-10 months, and he's already over halfway through Project 2025. It is my belief he's trying to fully implement it before the midterms, because he knows that he may not get a chance beyond the midterms, but he's doing everything he can to rig the midterms. That's why what is happening now is happening now. Another thing I want to share with you, I've already seen reports that the Department of Justice has already, or what I would prefer to call the Department of Injustice under this administration, has already distributed election monitors in California and in New Jersey, looking to intimidate people in overwhelmingly Democratic areas. This is how they're going to play. And they're just practicing. Honestly, I would argue they're practicing for the midterms, because Lord knows they're definitely going to do it like that, there. Okay. So these are the things that are coming down the pike. And this is why today's election is so important. I know, I love that. Gavin Newsom is matching energy. And honestly, I believe that is one of the core things that's going to make him a huge contender in the next presidential primary season. Absolutely. It absolutely is. Absolutely is. So here's the thing I would just say. If you are in Virginia, if you are in New Jersey, if you are in California, all right, go ahead and make sure you are doing what you need to do today. And definitely in New York, I have to say, I'm a Mamdani fan. All right. And I'm really tired of the weak, wobbly Democrats refusing to support this man full frontally. It's very interesting that today Trump, not only has Trump come out to endorse his independent former Democrat, I guess Democratic / independent competitor Cuomo, so has Elon Musk. So has the what is his name? Oh my goodness. It's Elon Musk and the little evil one that is in the White House as well. Oh my God. So let me just say, it's interesting how these Republicans are coming out to endorse Cuomo. And what they're really trying to do, honestly, is they are looking to signal to the Republicans in New York to not vote for the Republican, because they don't want that vote split. They're trying to get them to unite for Cuomo. So if you are someone who is more Democratic leaning, more progressive, that should really tell you right there that Cuomo is not your guy. I mean, you judge a person by the company that they keep. And I know if I was in New York, the very last thing I'd be looking to vote for is somebody that was endorsed by Donald Trump or by Elon Musk, right? So it's interesting what they're trying to do. Once again, they are trying to increase Cuomo's power by trying to get the Republicans in New York not to vote for the Republican candidate, but instead vote for him, so that they hopefully, in their mind, together can overcome the overwhelming support that Mamdani is getting right now in the city. But the bottom line is, absolutely. So what I'm telling you right now is that is going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But at the end of the day, I don't think they can catch him. I mean, Mamdani has a lot going for him. He's very authentic. He is speaking the language of affordability, which is something that people understand that they need. And he's someone who is, he's a rare political talent. He has, on the one hand, the charisma and the likability of an Obama, but at the same time, he has the attack capabilities of a Gavin Newsom. If you saw him in the debates, oh my God, it was such a refreshing thing to see him really go all out and make Cuomo look like the fool that he is. It was just beautiful to see. So I say that to say that instead of running away from him, instead of cowering around the allegation that he's a communist, when it's this president who has gone on and made attempts and actually has done things that have allowed for the government to attempt to purchase businesses, that sounds very much communist-like to me. You know, it's this presidency that is acting in the form of a dictator each and every day, finding new ways to do so. So instead of running away from that, and instead, you have a Democratic Party who is afraid to stand up and cast a mirror onto this administration, rather than cowering around the fact that they will get some sort of political fire if Mamdani wins. Well, the idea here is to look at what he's done to win. Since when are you so meek mouthed? Well, they've always been meek mouthed and milly mouthed, but it is very, very disturbing to see what they've done to distance themselves from him instead of trying to figure out how can we learn from them, because that's what's absolutely necessary in this moment. Listen, I have to say, I don't know. I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out, but I will go ahead and go out on a limb. I think that Mom Dami will win tonight. I think that Virginia will end up with a Democratic governor, which will position Virginia to be able to redistrict in order to combat what's happening all across this nation with regards to the GOP and the redistricting that they are doing. Uh, Ironically, we know that we're still waiting for the Supreme Court to come back with their final ruling around the Voting Rights Act, which, if you're like me, you're not holding out much hope about what's going to happen as a result of that. So they're really going full blown. They want to take the country back. And when they say take it back, they're talking about back to the Jim Crow era or even before. That is the goal, right? So here we go. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have to say it's going to be interesting to see what happens also in New Jersey. Um that is the one state where folks are kind of thinking it's going to be interesting to see, where that will probably be the closest, honestly, election that we'll see in terms of who's running for governor there. Uh, Absolutely. Supreme Court justice is exactly right. All right. So we'll see. If this ends up being a night where, in essence, that's a Democratic sweep, I will say this. If it's a night where it's a Democratic sweep in Virginia and New Jersey, if this referendum passes in California, if we do have a Mayor Mamdani come tomorrow, like if all of those things happen, expect the Republicans to really be on panic mode. They are going to take their power grab plan up several notches and continue to try to do as much as they can do to rig the midterm elections by capturing new seats in the 4 additional states that I just mentioned today, and potentially even more. And that is why when we have these types of power, we have to match the energy. And I would argue that the Democrats also have to start thinking more strategically and powerfully about what they can do to not only focus on the presidential elections, not only focus on the House and the Senate, but also focus on recapturing these state legislators. These state legislatures are absolutely necessary, because that's what leads to these rules changes that we are suffering right now, that has allowed the Republican Party to position themselves for this power grab that they're trying to enact right before our very eyes. All right. So with that, I am going to stop. I'm not going to go on and on and on today. I'm just starting this. We'll see how it goes, but I at least wanted to start and have this quick little fireside political chat with you on this Tuesday afternoon. I look forward to seeing you here next week for the next episode of I've Got Time Today. And until then, let me know in the comments, what do you think needs to happen next in order for us, to politically meet this moment when so much is under threat. I think next time I'm going to be talking a bit. You're welcome. I think next time there's something that I know I want to talk about, but I don't want to squeeze it into this episode. I want to have a whole episode talking about it. And that is those folks, honestly, who we need to blame. And we need not forget, okay, how we got here. And I'm going to tease it with that, but just know it's a lot of them out there that have now, they're very loud in terms of all the things that they are saying about how horrible this particular administration is. But they were key as to why we are dealing with all this. And we need to let them know we have not forgotten. And we need to position ourselves to not be fooled by their bamboozled, I believe, paid talking points that they will definitely come out with in the next election, in terms of the midterms, and definitely in terms of the presidential election, especially the next presidential election. Absolutely. Absolutely. Widespread protest, national protest. I hear you, Stacey. Okay, you guys, with that said, I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I might pop on between now and then after these election results are done, but at least just want to come on and say a little bit tonight and today and speak my mind. All right. Y'all take care. I'll talk with you later. Bye.